loves, and welcome back to a new video. My name is Jade Shinyu and I help people reclaim back their power physically, mentally and spiritually. Now today we're going to be discussing healthy masculinity versus toxic masculinity, and really what it is and means to be a man in his healthy masculine energy, and exposing what it's not. Now, let's be real, in today's society, the dating scene is a fucking mess. Most relationships suck. Most people are miserable in the relationships. Most women are insecure. Most men are insecure. Most people are fighting, cheating on each other, doing all this crazy bullshit because there's so much misinformation about what it actually means to have a healthy relationship. And the reason that I'm focusing more on the masculine and masculine men, and why it's important for women to realize the signs of healthy masculinity and so they can go after that. And so men can realize it within themselves and do the adequate shadow work that's essentially needed to become in their divine masculine energy. It's because most of the time women are mirrors to men. So in most relationships, if the man is treating the woman correctly with love, respect, and really giving her what she needs, fulfilling her needs properly, then she will receive it and give it back to you. Because women, when we're in our feminine energy, we are receivers. Even when we have sex, we receive you. So then we give you back a baby if you impregnate a woman. So it's very important to really understand this, because, I mean, I'm not saying that some women, of course, are toxic, because most women in general as well turn toxic because they've been broken-hearted, they've been massively mistreated by men, and then it makes them turn dark, it makes them turn toxic themselves, so then they go around hurting good men. So it creates this awful vicious cycle. But essentially that's still the main catalyst, was a man being in his toxic masculine energy and then hurting the feminine. Because in reality, most people just want to be loved, especially women. Most women want just feel loved by their man, feel wanted, feel respected, to feel safe. And this is what is created when a man is in his healthy masculinity. Now, there is a lot of, unfortunately, toxic men in today's society, influencers such as Andrew Tate and that sort of thing, who come across as promoting masculinity in a very healthy way, but they do a lot of damage at the same time. Now, I'm not completely bashing Andrew, as I've done other videos on him. I do agree with, I'd say, 50% of what he says, but then 50% of what he does and what he says is also very toxic. So he's very 50-50, but he is missing the elements of loyalty and respect, true respect to women. Because unfortunately, he, of course, has quite a big ego, very narcissistic traits. He views women as cars, as objects. He only goes for very highly attractive women. So for him, it's all about, oh, just collecting women like toys, essentially, to boost his own ego, to make sure he has the hottest woman, so his ego is inflated, etc. He's not really chasing love, a genuine soulmate, unconditional love. So a man in his true powerful masculinity needs that feminine energy as well. You have to have both, like the yin yang symbol. Of course, their most dominant energy is the masculine, but then they need that bit of feminine energy as well. The same with women, because our most dominant energy is obviously our feminine energy, but we still need a bit of masculinity as well to be balanced. And then when both of us are balanced and we have that, we become whole. That's what that symbol means. So it's really understanding that and understanding polarities and what it means and what you can do to be whole. So when two wholes come together, that's what creates harmony in general. And of course, you're still going to challenge each other. Of course, we all have our own traumas, our childhood wounds to heal. But when you are in a mature, egoless relationship, you don't allow your ego to sabotage it or get in the way. You can progress together. If you're really loyal to each other and you're not abusive and you understand and you give each other your presence, space, time and energy, you can truly evolve and help each other heal. because most wounds are created within relationship dynamics with your parents. So this is why that childhood wound won't really heal unless it's done within a relationship, because that's what caused it in the first place. So it's kind of like exposure therapy, because exposure therapy is what's going to bring up that emotion. It's what's going to bring up that uncomfortable, traumatic feeling that would have been suppressed or dormant even for quite some time, until you fall in love with someone. And then all the trauma and bullshit comes up, because it's that same energy, that same dynamic that you would have had with your parents, and which was your first relationships. Because whatever trauma we go through with our parents always shows up within marriages, within romantic relationships later down the line. It's so important to acknowledge that. So this is why both partners, and the men especially, because women are naturally very good at this, because we're more emotional, our feminine energy allows us to be more introspective. We analyze ourselves a bit more. We are a bit more vulnerable, a bit more open emotionally. Not all women, but in general, a lot of them are, compared to men. Because some men are like that. They wear their heart on a sleeve. So I'm not, bashing either. Some men are very open and, vulnerable and in tune with their feminine energy. But a lot of men aren't. So a lot of men have this dynamic within their heads, what it means to be a masculine man, that is all about money. They all, the main thing that society brainwashes into a man is, you are worthless unless you're rich. You are worthless. You're not in your divine alpha masculine energy unless you can financially provide. But financial abundance, as nice and important as it is, obviously, to get by in life, is not the thing that makes you masculine. Because there are very demasculated men. There are very toxic masculine men who are wealthy, who do have a lot of money, but they are not in their divine masculine energy. They are not healthy, because then they're completely missing and losing what the other aspects of emotionally providing, spiritually providing for their woman and for their family and friends. Having that integrity, having that morality, that's what truly makes a man masculine. He needs to be in tune with his protective nature. He needs to be in tune with his nurturing nature. Feminine energy is about nurturing, and the masculine is about protecting. But they're very similar energies. So a lot of men, especially young men nowadays, and all men, get very much sidetracked, and they completely put all their self-worth on how much money they have in the bank, or how many women they can sleep with, how many cars they have, what car they can get. It's all materialistic. It's all very much in the lower chakra, your root chakra, your ego. And that is a very toxic place to stay, because you need to have your heart open. You need to have your third eye open. You need to be balanced in all your chakras and all your energy. That's where you find your true power. So I'm going to use examples of what I believe is a, healthy masculine man, and how important it is to embody that, and signs of a healthy masculine man. So even though he's obviously a fictional character, I think a really, really good example of a man who is in his pure divine masculine energy is actually Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. Because he is very much balanced. He has that fierce, protective, very strong energy, very fearless, very courageous, very selfless. He does what he has to do. He puts others first. He protects other people. He fights for what he has to fight for. He's got that really fierce masculine energy. But then on the other side, he's got his feminine energy. He's in tune with his heart. He's in tune with his emotions. He shows love to Arwen, his elf partner. He embodies that. There's even a scene, I think it's cut, unfortunately, but in the extras, you see more of this. He has a lot of compassion, a lot of mercy. He knows how to connect with animals. He can calms down that horse. He is very respectful. He doesn't cheat on his elf partner when obviously he had the opportunity to with that other woman who showed, interest in him. So he has a lot of respect for the feminine. So he doesn't just fuck about. He's not a fuck boy. He embodies both energies perfectly. And he basically, that's why he's such a strong character. That's why he's the lead. And another character is actually Samwise Gamgee as well. In The Lord of the Rings, he very much is in his masculine, healthy energy also, even though it may not seem like he is on the outside with external appearances. But as he grows, as he progresses along, like by the third movie, even second movie, he is really, you know, in a strong masculine energy. Because again, he's been very protective of Frodo. He's always sacrificing himself. He's always been selfless, courageous, fearless, doing what he has to do what's right. So he has very strong integrity. He has very strong morals. But then again, he's really emotional. He's very much in tune with his feminine energy. He, you know, shows so much love to Frodo. And then obviously he has his own family. Then he gets married and he shows love to her. He's very respectful. He's very nurturing. You know, he knows how to cook. He gardens. He does gardening. So he's very in tune. He loves nature. He has respect for nature. So obviously Aragorn and, you know, Samwise, they're very much, you know, similar, even though they're completely different characters. So it's very interesting, but their energies are very, healthy examples of masculine energy. So when men truly acknowledge this truth, they will live such better lives. Like, they'll have such a good, you know, their relationships will massively get better. In real life, there's a few men as well that I do believe, you know, from the outside, they do look like they are healthy examples of masculinity. And that's Jordan Peterson. You know, he's a really intelligent man. He's very good because, again, he's very fierce. He stands up for what he believes in. But then at the same time, he's not afraid to cry on camera. He always gets emotional. He's very in tune with his heart. You can see he really cares. And even though it hurts him, you know, he goes through so much pain. You can see he's very empathic. He's very compassionate. But at the same time, he's fucking fierce and he can stand up for himself. He's got a sharp tongue. You know, that's a very healthy masculine man. And another example is this relationship guru. I think he's called Chris something. I'll tag him down below. But he makes quite short videos and reels, but they're spot on, you know, with how, because he truly sees women. He understands what women need. He understands what it takes to make a woman happy, and then how much that makes him feel good about himself, how much that benefits his own life. Because men really don't understand, when you treat a good woman right, so obviously it has to be a good woman who's able to receive your love, able to receive and respect and appreciate your time and energy. When you give that to the right woman, she will make your life heaven. She will make it so blissful. Even Andrew Tate said this as well. He's kind of softened up a bit, which is good to see. But he even acknowledges that what a gift it is, because women, you know, we give back so much when we are treated right, with love and respect and nurturing and empathy and compassion. Because women, we need to feel heard and we need to feel seen by our partners. And even men need this too. So you have to make each other feel seen and heard, because that's what creates safety, security. And with men, you need to understand that, you know, money comes and goes. You can sacrifice years of your life building a business, you know, even becoming a millionaire. But then, you know, if one thing goes wrong, or, you know, something fucks up, and then, oh, you go bankrupt, you know, what have you got if you lose it all? This is why you have to not put all your eggs and all your self-worth in your financial success, because it's not enough. It's always up and down. So as amazing as it is to have goals and ambition, you know, that's great. That is a good, healthy, masculine thing to have. You know, do chase your dreams, your goals, have ambitions. It's important to not sacrifice everything else in the process. Because with a good woman by your side, which ironically most millionaires have, and billionaires, they always seem to be married to a good, strong woman. You know, that normally benefits their success financially anyway. So, but it's an energy balance, because a woman is like, you know, we're like goddesses. Like, we can create things. We give birth to life in all aspects. So if you're treating a woman right and you work as a team, you know, power couple energy, you can fucking manifest so much. And then if you combine sex magic into that, that gets amplified, you know, times 1,000. So it's really that unity, that's so important, and it's so powerful and beautiful. And this is why the elites and the government fuck relationships up. This is why they have turned men against women, women against men. This is why porn exists, because that destroys relationships, because that gives men brain damage, that completely destroys sex. It makes women feel very insecure. So this is why all these really toxic things exist. Because as soon as you have both men and women feeling shit about themselves, for women it's normally our looks. If we don't look a certain way, then we feel very insecure, because we base all our self-worth on how pretty we are, how beautiful we are. And then we think that's enough to get a man, when it's not. Because many beautiful women still get cheated on, still get betrayed, heartbroken. You know, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are. That's not going to guarantee you a good man, or that he's going to treat you right. And with men, they just believe, oh, as soon as I have loads of money, you know, everything's going to be great. And then they put all their self-worth on money. They put all their self-worth on, you know, how much they've got in the bank. And then obviously they believe, you know, with loads of money, then, oh, that's going to keep an attractive woman, and that she's going to be loyal to them and love them, when again, that don't happen. You know, because if you lose all your money, she's going to fuck off and go chase another dude who's got more money than you, or what you had before. So actually a good cartoon that shows this, that I watched recently, is actually Shark Tale. I've not seen that film since I was probably like a child, but I watched it the other day, and I was like, you know what, even though it's just a, you know, a little cartoon, like it actually had a fucking powerful message, a really strong moral. And it was literally about this. The fish, I can't remember his name, but what he goes through is like, his whole journey in that film is him learning how to mature emotionally and become, literally transmute from being in his toxic masculinity to a healthy masculine energy. When people realize this, and unfortunately they don't realize it till it's too late, a lot of men will end up in their 50s, 60s, and they'll have this awakening, and then they'll think, fuck, I've completely wasted my whole life. I've completely wasted my time. They're still in love with, you know, the woman that got away from fucking 30 years ago. Trust me, I've seen this. And, you know, it's such a sad reality. And this is why a lot of, you know, suicides are mainly men. Because they put all this pressure on themselves, and they shut down their hearts because they don't want to be seen weak or vulnerable. And then they don't give their love to the right people, to the right woman. And then it bites them in the arse, because they're chasing something that's essentially just their ego's desires. So it's really acknowledging the truth. It's really acknowledging who you actually are inside. It's acknowledging if you have an anxious attachment style from childhood trauma, or if you're avoidant. Most men are avoidant, so they tend to run or push away people. So because they naturally have a barrier, you know, around their hearts, their emotions. They don't want to, you know, open up or be vulnerable. So it's a very avoidant, you know, push away, toxic masculine energy. But once men realize how much power and blessings and abundance comes to them, like these other men have, by the way, when they finally open their hearts and they finally give and surrender and just allow themselves to be, and they fucking don't burn themselves out. They stop trying so hard from a space of their ego, and they start listening to their heart, and they really address their traumas and their wounds. That's when things change. That's when they find their true power. That's when they're a true alpha male. And they're unstoppable when they're in that energy. A man in that energy is fucking powerful. Men, unfortunately, today are so suppressed, like women, but with men, because they have so much influence over women, unfortunately, they're targeted hugely as well by society, brainwashing them to just chase money, fast cars, distract them with football, you know, drink, porn. It's endless. It's so much distractions and bullshit that make them completely destroy themselves. So it's so important for a man to really look after himself, to really step into that powerful energy and not fall for this toxic masculine bullshit. And when I say toxic masculinity, I do not mean what the feminists mean. You know, this is not woke bullshit propaganda. You know, this is the opposite of that. Because with that, they want men to be feminine. They want men to be suppressed. They want men to be fucking women. They want, you know, all that fucking garbage. You know, I'm not standing for that. As I've explained in other videos. So, because then again, that is an attack on men. It weakens them. So they have no power. Men have to be masculine. They need that strong masculine energy to be fucking strong. For our whole society, for our whole world to function, essentially. So for the women, you know, try to recognize the signs if the man is in his unhealthy, toxic energy. And if he is, you know, express this to him. Try to educate him. And if he's very resistant, if he doesn't want to do the work, then you have to walk away. Because unfortunately, you know, the man, he has to be mature enough. He has to be emotionally intelligent enough and wise enough to make the decision of like, yeah, you're right. I need to change. I need to do this. I need to quit porn. I need to quit drinking, smoking, you know, whatever it is. I need to open up to you more. I need to communicate with you more. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that really are the bare minimum. So if you've got a man who's just being a player, liking women on Instagram, thirst traps, addicted to porn, addicted to this, you know, just completely being in a really low vibration, really low consciousness. He makes you feel like shit. He makes you feel insecure. And he's not willing to try. He's not trying to chase his dreams. He's not trying to better himself. Then you need to walk away. If he's not willing to better himself and he's not willing to listen to you, then you have to go. Because they'll never change. Really, they'll never change. They have to really make the decision to change. You can guide them, but they have to do the work. So this is, you know, the harsh reality. But there are men who are doing the work. But it's so important that men really do acknowledge this. And because when you do, you'll have the money, you'll have peace, you'll have bliss, you'll have your soulmate woman, you'll have a great life. And this is what the elite and dark energy of this earth doesn't want. They do not want men and women like this. They don't want us to be united. They don't want us to be in love. Because when a man and a woman is in their feminine and masculine energy, in their whole, and they're truly in love, that is an incredible energy. It's so powerful, but pure. That heals the world. But unfortunately, they don't want that. Because when you have a woman and a man like that, imagine what their child will be like. They won't have any childhood trauma to heal like we all do. So we're all fucked because our parents were fucked. They had dysfunctional relationships. And then we, unfortunately, were given trauma because of it. You know, I was, like many of you were, especially the millennials. But even now, it's like children learn from their parents. So if a child has been brought up by a man and a woman who show each other love, who are fucking strong, who look after each other, who teach their children to not watch porn, not do this, you know, to be fucking intelligent, to not let the matrix sabotage them and brainwash them and make them dumb and abusive to other men and women, that will heal the world. So this is why it's so important that you do the work to fix yourself, even if you don't want children, because it's still a powerful energy. You lead by example, because then if you're in a healthy relationship, every person that meets you will be inspired by you. You will inspire them to be like that. You will help them just being in your presence. Because when you have a united divine feminine and masculine, they are so powerful. They go around healing the world. So this is why it's so important to really embody and align with that energy. And to not let this matrix, this darkness pull you into that depression, pull you into that darkness, pull you into that self-sabotaging, awful low frequency. Because that's where you are powerless. And this is why so many men end up killing themselves. It's fucking horrific. And then they end up breaking women. You know, they break women and then they regret it and then they fucking kill themselves. It happens so much, or worse. They end up murdering, torturing, raping because they're completely tormented and then they're a lost cause. They get distorted by dark energy. Their vessel is open and then darkness takes over. So it's so important. And we need to have higher standards. Women, you need to hold your men accountable. Don't stand for abuse. You need to lay it out. You need to, you know, be patient with them, be loving with them. Give them time to heal, give them time to try. You know, if you truly know they've got a good heart and you love them. But at the same time, if they're just completely don't give a fuck, they're not willing to try, they're very just dismissive of it all, then you need to walk away. It's really that simple. So help your men become strong. Help your men, you know, embody their masculine energy, because women, when you're in your feminine and you give them all that love and patience and you stand strong, that naturally helps them. It's such a powerful energy. So women, you heal yourselves and that will naturally help them heal also. Always keep an open heart, but always have strong boundaries at the same time. So I will leave it there. If you need one-to-one help, I do offer spiritual guidance as a one-to-one sessions. I do oracle card readings where I use my own intuition to help you with whatever problems you have, you know, massively with relationships, love, career, even entity attachments, curses, hexes, black magic, any sort of issue you have. I've helped clients worldwide with it. So if you need help, please get in touch and I'll be more than happy to do my best with you. The link is always down below in the description box and my Linktree link. All bookings are done through that. So follow that and I'll be more than happy to help you. I also have a free third eye ebook, so you can open your third eye. So check that out. That's completely for free. And I also have a chakra cleanse ebook. So if you want to do a week cleanse to really fully align, to detox, to purge, that's also a great thing to do, especially with summer coming up as well. It's a really good time to have a lot of fruit. So until next time, my loves, please like, subscribe and click the notification bell, and so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I also have a Patreon, so if you want to join the Goddess Coven Patreon, where I have way more content that's more darker, more on the conspiracy side, you know, things I can't talk about on YouTube, then that is also in the link down below. And it's a monthly subscription that you can cancel at any time. So I always have at least 4 to 5 videos uploaded monthly on there. So until next time, my loves, I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Show each other love, for Christ's sake. And until next time, Ahimsa.